author, literary voice, Mr. Mubarak Sandhu. His literary journey spans 5 published books, 2 fiction novels, 2 poetry collection, and a Punjabi translation of a renowned novel. In addition to being an author, he is also a producer of Mubarak Show Podcast and the first to introduce the unique concept of a podcast magazine, bringing the podcast journey into a written format. His creative work beautifully blends emotion, culture, contemporary art, and making him an inspiring figure of young readers and writers. Adding a special touch to this event, I'm pleased to welcome Ms. Mehak, not as a co-moderator, but also an involved parent who brings a thoughtful, relatable perspective to our session. Today's session will take us through his experience as a writer, his evolution as a podcaster, and stories behind his creative pursuits. We will also explore how literature, audio storytelling, and personal expression can open powerful windows into imagination and learning. So, sir, we are very delighted to have you. A warm welcome again. So, sir, your literary journey spans novels, poetry, translation, and even podcasting. So once you had mentioned that stories often tap on the shoulder before we write them. Can you share that moment when a story first found you?
Sure, ma'am. First of all, thank you so much for having me here. 2 things that I should immediately point out before answering the question. First thing is, usually we have 1 moderator in sessions. Today, for the first time, I have 2 moderators, and it feels like...
And you're feeling very... because both the ladies are on the sides. Huh?
That's a warm welcome from our side.
Thank you, ma'am. So it feels like, I have to prepare myself for some strong interrogation here today.
And so we try to actually, work with the parents because the parent connection is very important. So that's why we often do that.
Obviously, ma'am. Thank you. And it's an amazing feeling being here among the students always. Generally, we come over for sessions thinking that somehow we'll influence or motivate the students. But whenever we come to an institution like these, we end up going motivated ourselves. We don't really feel like motivating the students. They in return, they motivate us. So it's always amazing being among the youngsters. So coming back to the question, ma'am, you said when was the first time when a story tapped my shoulder? Yes. So I believe I was, I was about in 4th or 5th class, one of the classes where these students sit these days. And out of curiosity, I ended up asking my father, looking at an interview on TV, that you always teach us, in schools we understand academics, there are sports activities, there are music classes, there are maybe language classes, French or something, but no one ever talks about being a writer. So, out of curiosity, I ended up asking him, there's an interview of a writer going on the television. So, how do we become a writer? So, he said, writing is an innate strength. No one can teach you to become a writer. If you are a writer, with time, the potential will come out. You will come up with the capability of writing, and that passion will never be left back. So, that's how that curiosity got paved into some sort of a passion itself. And then I started writing poetry first. So when I was in school, I started writing poetry first. With time, yes, that came out as a storytelling interest as well, and I started writing stories as well, ma'am.
That was amazing, sir. At a very young age, you started thinking about that. So we can motivate our children that they can also, they can write as simple as that, any subject or any, whatever they feel like, whatever comes to their mind.
These children these days, they are very smart, they are very intelligent, and they have all the resources and exposure to learn the best possible things around. we didn't have those resources.
Yeah.
And I and Colonel Avneet sir, we were just talking before coming on stage that these children, sometimes they actually make us feel that we were so useless in school because we didn't have such activities and such exposure in school. And when these students come on stage, they act so active, so confidently.
They're very confident.
They are so confident, so full of energy, and we go back 20, 30 years and we say, yaar, main inna confident nahi siga, you know. So hats off to these students.
True.
So students, what do you want to say? Yeah.
Not right away, ma'am. We already have, someone has raised a hand already. I already have two people interrogating me. Aje ruk jao thodi der
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, so sir, you've talked about poetry, fiction, and also translation. It will be very interesting to know how do you switch gears so seamlessly?
I believe that's a part of any profession. When, for example, we have teachers around, they are not just teaching; they are handling multiple roles. So I started working as a freelance content writer in about 2014. So that taught me that today I'm writing about maybe medical field, and tomorrow the same IT company will reach out to me that you have to write a blog for a hospitality website. I have to switch roles right away. And that was not just out of passion. So as a freelance content writer, it's a profession. Still, as a freelance content writer, I'm a full-time writer, full-time freelance content writer. And that helps me to pay my bills. I'm a full-time writer. Podcasting is a side profession, I would say. But yes, shifting roles is a part of any profession. And I am not doing anything outstanding. I believe it's just a part of my profession.
So you've just been very, very modest here. We've been through your podcast sessions, the Mubarak Show, and it's very inspiring.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
But if you had to express your entire creative journey using one metaphor, one image, what would you it be and why?
Ma'am, I would say unbelievable because I'm an engineer. I did mechanical engineering. Then I did MBA in dual specialization. I did MBA in marketing and operations management. I worked as a mechanical engineer. I worked in different roles, but eventually my passion has overweighed anything else that I did. And it is unbelievable to even think about it. Even, being a parent, you can't imagine your children to do engineering or to complete MBBS or something like that, a particular technical degree, and then do MBA and then not get into any corporate or not any particular business. You end up being a writer. So that's unbelievable, but that's what destiny had for me, and I'm a
This is
firm
what
believer.
you enjoyed.
I enjoyed, ma'am, and I'm a very firm believer of destiny and God. Whatever happens, either good or bad, I find out something positive out of it. And this is the most positive part, being a writer. I have that strength of expression of emotion. And at the same time, that strength of suppression of emotion, I would say, because there's a lot going on, behind the stage in everyone's life. But sitting on the stage, you will think that he is the most satisfied person, very satisfied with his job as a writer. With
Like you had mentioned earlier when we were talking on the phone,
Yes, ma'am.
that it is the other way round. I have to suppress my emotions in front of my parents sometimes. We do that. So
I
first the
would
parents
say-
used to do, and then when you grow up, then it's other way round.
So I would say unbelievable is the word, ma'am. Sorry, unbelievable is the word, ma'am.
It's beyond everything.
Right. So, sir, at the first place, what is it, that one thing that inspired you to begin writing?
I believe we just talked about it. So the inspiration came out of curiosity, and the first book that I wrote, which was Boris, it's a fiction novel. So the first sentence of that book, the first word of that sentence is curiosity. So curiosity is what my fiction novel is based on, and curiosity is what my writing career is based on, I believe. It was born out of curiosity, and it still continues to be based on curiosity, because there are a lot of times when I look around and I'm curious about a lot of things, and if I believe I am not able to get the answers of that curiosity, I just end up writing about it. So it expresses my
Put your
emotions.
thoughts there.
That is, yes.
Nice, very nice. When you sit to write, what do you chase more? Discipline, inspiration, or silence?
Discipline, inspiration, or science? Ma'am,
Silence.
Silence. So I think it's based on the situation, particular situation, or the subject on which I am writing. A lot of writers believe, a lot of writers want silence around to write. I'm not one of them. I can have full volume DJs playing around me and I can still write
Still, you can pen down.
on whatever concept that I want to write. I'm so clear with what I want to write about. And discipline, of course, discipline is required in every dimension of life.
Every dimension.
And if I want to write, I have to write, I will write. There's no point of thinking about going beyond that. So all the terms that you have mentioned, they are all part of it. You talked about inspiration. We are, we are formed by the society around, the surroundings around. We get influenced by a lot of things happening around.
Totally.
So we get inspired from all the positives and negatives. It's up to us to keep aside those negatives so that they don't impact us and become a part of our personality, and imbibe all the positive traits around us in ourselves. So all the terms that you have mentioned, somewhere, somehow,
Everything is integrated.
Yes, it's all integrated in writing.
It's beautiful to understand the inner world behind your writing, sir.
Yes. And sir, for us parents, what advice would you give us on how we can encourage our kids to read more and more?
Ma'am, I have an example for this. So there's this cafe in Mohali. It's Cup and Kitab Cafe. They promote literature a lot.
Yes.
So in 2021, when I wrote my first book, after a few months, I was sitting in the same cafe. I spent a lot of time over there because of all the books and the literary vibes. There was a parent who was there with her daughter. And they just sat there. She offered coffee or tea to the child, and she was reading books from all the thousands of books which are placed over there. And after paying the bill, she came over to the owner, Mr. Anshuman. He's no more, may his soul rest in peace. So, Mr. Anshuman, she came up to him and she said, "You have a great collection of books in your cafe. Would you mind if I keep bringing my daughter in future also so that she can read books?" He wanted to understand her more. She said, "Why bring here to read books? You know, there are books around, libraries, you can read books at home as well." She said, "I come from a very humble background. I can't afford so many books. I can afford some books, but not so many books which are available here. So it is my pleasure that I bring my child over here. She sits, she reads on different subjects, different backgrounds. There are so many books, poetry books, fiction, novels, everything is available there. So I want to imbibe that reading habit in my child. And it is better to bring her here because there are thousands of books around." Mr. Anshuman was so happy. And by chance, I was there. So he went up to that same mother and the daughter. She said, and he said that we already have a published writer over here. Yeah. This child of 7 to 8 years or 10 years, she will be motivated further. if she talks to a writer of a book. Absolutely, over here. Sir. She came up to me and she was so confident, sir, at such a young age. She said, "Sir, I want to become a writer." She was so clear. So as a parent, it is a very small activity we may consider, taking a child to an atmosphere from where that child can gain something. Sure. Specifically literature, when we are talking about it in a literary festival. But it is not a small activity at all. It is something very big that is being done by a parent for that child. So parents can, with these small activities, parents can imbibe such positive habits in children. Over here we are talking about literature. There are many other habits we can talk about, discipline, sports, anything around. These small gestures, small acts by parents can bring a very big difference in the lives of those children.
The quality time.
Yes, ma'am.
That is for sure. And so, tell us of something for our children also in this digital world, because everybody is reading from, from the digital, so they're not investing in the books. And in our time, I remember we used to have not only the school library, but we used to go to some aunt's place also, or our neighbors, and read few books. But now, like you were saying, that the cafe and the other things we can always promote and do. But for the younger generation, we have to convince them and bring them on this track that the books are more important. So how can we do that?
Ma'am, I think you have taken this great initiative. I mean, sirs, founders, you are doing a great thing, organizing such activities. I was talking to Avnish sir yesterday, and we talk about such things a lot of times, that educational institutions can organize a lot more activities like these, but a lot of organizations are not doing it. And an educational institution here in Pathankot inviting speakers from Chandigarh, putting in such immense effort just so that the students can gain something out of it. This is a very big initiative. I mean, hats off to your efforts, sir, to your efforts, ma'am, and everyone who is involved in this. Hats off to your efforts. Such activities help a lot to the students, specifically for the students. You know, this activity is eventually helping the students.
We try to give them the platform and the exposure. But I'm remembering Major Journals, he quoted yesterday that we have to try and we have to keep trying. So our mission, our passion is that the children should read more and they can follow. So that we'll keep doing. So as educators, we have to, we cannot give up, and we'll continue doing it.
Definitely, ma'am. And there's one more thing. We are taught of a lot of terms when we study, and there's this term called negative motivation. When we tell someone that, no, it's not possible for you, you won't, you won't be able to do this.
This is what you was mentioning yesterday.
Yes, so there's a lot of times it was said, just like you just said, that probably youngsters are not investing on books. Ma'am, they are investing on books a lot more than we can think now. Being in literary forums, being in literature festivals, what we have realized is, if we all stay updated with the news, last year, 2024, Pune Literature Festival sold books worth 40 crore rupees in 7 days.
Wow, that is a lot.
You talk about Chennai Literature Festival, I believe 4 crore or 10 crore rupees worth books were sold in 4 or 5 days of literature festival. So who is buying these books? It's not just the elderly, it's not just the senior citizens or in their middle age. There are youngsters who are investing on books, and this negative motivation is actually helping. And then there are positive motivational sides as well when we talk to the youngsters and we tell them that reading habit is actually very helpful. And yes, youngsters are doing it. They are investing a lot on reading books. I have a lot of friends. When we look at them, we think कि इन्हें कदे किताब खोल के भी नहीं देखी होनी. But then you look at their Instagram stories, WhatsApp status updates. Every day they don't sleep without reading a book, either one page or multiple pages. So there are people who don't show, but yes, they are reading. So youngsters, they are reading. We have high hopes from the youngsters who are sitting here and beyond, who may listen later on through the videos or audios. They are definitely reading books, and just in case they are not reading, we can just request them to read. Along with that, we can motivate them. Yes, they have to be updated with the current trends. It's not possible that we tell them keep aside the gadgets and just focus on the print material. We have that love for the fragrance of paper. We have been brought up with reading actual physical books. And apani gadgets te shift ho sakde. We have to have that fragrance of paper. We open the book, and we have
the turning of pages and the fragrance of the.
We have the love for it. We can't just get over it. But these youngsters, if they are reading from the gadgets, it's okay. I mean, yes, we always motivate them to read the books to reduce the screen time. But still, if that screen time is for something positive, we should let them do it to some extent so that they don't use the screen time for something else.
Right. So, sir, I would like to thank you so much for coming in here and inspiring all of us. It was lovely. Thank you for sharing your wisdom, your experience, and love for reading. Your words have actually reminded us that reading is not just a skill, it's a beautiful habit that shapes imagination and confidence. To all our young minds here, I hope that today's session brings in a lot of inspiration for all of us to explore more books, go out towards more curiosity, create our own magical worlds, and look forward to better days ahead. Thank you so much, sir, for sparing out time, and we are grateful. Thank you.
Yes, there were some children who wanted to ask me questions, so my grilling is not over.
You have a question?
Yes. There's a mic.
He's taking the mic. He's bringing the mic. A mic is coming on from this side, please.
This is also.
Hello, sir. First of
Hi.
all, thank you for all the information that you gave us, and you actually
working?
motivated us.
Yeah.
Actually motivated us in many ways. So I want to ask, like, I'm actually an author of a book, or you can say I'm writing and working on a book as well. And I'm also a host of a podcast on Spotify, and I want to ask for an advice which I need at this moment and for the future as well. So can you please give me an advice?
Well, my advice would be stick to clean content. You know, there are a lot of people around. All of us, we have almost accepted that controversy and negative content sells. And by selling the content, we have to earn money and sustain this industry of podcasting somehow. But believe me, the moment you stick to clean content, there are a lot of good people who get connected to you. The moment you get connected to the controversial or the negative side of any digital media, good people, reputed people, they'll not come and connect with you. They'll never shake hands with you because they know somehow they'll become a part of the controversy. With God's grace, in last 2 years, I have produced more than 71 podcast episodes. And next week, it's going to be the 72nd episode. So next week's episode is about real estate. There's so much selling about real estate these days, but the moment you watch the episode, there's not one controversial or negative thing about the real estate that I just want to sell for the purpose of getting more views on Reels or YouTube. I have talked to youngsters like you. There's a student, Saikrit Gulati. He is a 10th class student now in +1. So a few months ago when he was in 10th class, being in 10th class, he teaches voluntarily in government schools to the 10th class students where teachers are not available. So finding such people, and he didn't start in 10th class. When he was in 5th class, he became a voluntary teacher for students of 5th class in government school. So there are such positive souls around, there are such positive stories around. Just stick to positive and clean content. Over time, you will realize the value of clean content. You will not earn as much as negativity or TRP-based content is selling or earning, but you should not be worried about it. Don't consider podcasting or writing as your primary profession for the time being, so that eventually your bread and butter becomes dependent on it, and you get forced to create such a content that sells because you have to earn money out of it. So don't consider this as a primary profession. Produce clean content and become an example in the society that this is someone who is far away from negativity or controversy. It's very important.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.
And sir, tell us about your podcast also. How you thought of making it as for the magazine also?
With God's grace, I'm blessed with, I believe, some of the best people around in the world, motivational people, friends. So when I wrote my first fiction novel, it was a suggestion given to me by a friend. Because as a freelance content writer, as a ghost writer, I was writing for others. But then there was this very sincere suggestion that why writing for, when you can write for others, why don't you write for yourself? That's how I started writing my first novel. Similarly, being a member of literary societies, literature festivals, it was a suggestion given to me by a friend. Talking in Punjabi, he said, "Yaar, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਤੂੰ ਸ਼ਾਮ ਨੂੰ ਬੈਠ ਕੇ ਚਾਹ ਪੀਣਾ ਹੈ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਅਸੀਂ ਮਿਲਣ ਲਈ ਤਰਸਦੇ ਹਾਂ." Because it was a blessing being a member of literary society, being a writer. So when I have such amazing people around and good communication skills, why not bring them on a show and create good content so that people can gain something out of it? that's how the podcasting journey began.
written magazine came into.
A written magazine, ma'am, now that was out of curiosity. And I would say some sort of pressure because in any field that we are working in, we think of doing something different. And as a podcaster, ki hi different kar lunge. You know, we have to bring people, talk to them, and eventually produce good content. So then I thought, I am a writer, and having something in written on your table is far better than having on just digital media. So people are shifting from this written content to digital media. And I thought of coming back, reversing the roles of if I have done 2 years of podcasting on digital media, why not bring it into podcast magazine? So that's how I published the podcast magazine. And
so that is yearly.
It's annual magazine. On 18th December, we are having our next podcast magazine launch in Chandigarh. So, and it is not for sale. It is just a promotional content. It is just good content so that it reaches the people. So I produce 1,000 magazine in the first print run, and all those 1,000 magazines, they are not sold, they are just given to people so that they should know about the importance of clean content. It's already there in the carry bag.
So Shivani ma'am can do that. She's already at the author's corner.
Oh, okay. So,
Do we have more questions? Parents?
Parents? What about our head boy? Thank you so much, sir.
thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you for having me here. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.